we all want to lose a few pounds, but personally, I lost over 20 pounds just since the semester started. Now that seems crazy, and what's even crazier is the fact that I ate fun food like pizza and cookies and not just broccoli all the time. Now how do I do this? I did this by eating at a caloric deficit, counting my calories every single day. So in this speech, I'll be going over the 3 methods I use to make sure I hit the caloric deficit every single day. First of which being how many calories I need to take in. The second being how am I going to measure these calories, and the third being the method in which I actually get the calories, which, hint hint, fasting. So to begin, the amount of calories we need to take in each day can be determined in online calculators. A lot of those are pretty accurate, but personally I use a formula of multiplying your body weight in pounds times 15 if you're a man, or by 12 if you're a woman, and that gets about your maintenance calories, and it's pretty simple. So me personally, a 190-pound male is near 2,800 calories for maintenance. So how do we get that maintenance to a deficit? Well, first we got to determine how much weight we're going to lose every week. Now, healthy studies show that about 1 to 2 pounds is the healthiest, because going too far is going to hurt your metabolism and basically starve you, and you're going to feel bad. We don't want to do that because we want to do this for long term and lose as much weight as possible. So 1 to 2 pounds a week. Well, how much is in a pound? The answer is 3,500 calories. So if we do that 1 pound a week and we got to drop 3,500 calories, we're going to subtract 500 calories per day, because 3,500 divided by 7 is 500. So if you take my prior number of 2,800 as maintenance and then you subtract the 500, then you get 2,300, which is the calories I'm currently intaking to lose weight. Secondly, we're going to go over how to measure these calories. So we know how much we need, me personally, 2,300. So how do we get there? Well, we look at nutrition labels. Nutrition labels being the obvious thing on most packaged foods. It'll be like in fluid ounces, grams, blah, 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 this many calories. Great. Now, how do we measure these calories per serving? Well, if it's in fluid ounces, you take a measuring cup, or in most foods, like solids, or in my case of being really particular in how much I'm taking in, you can use kitchen scales such as this or this, and it'll measure exactly how much the food you're eating weighs. This is really important for just making sure that you're not eating more or less than you're counting, because then you could be either hurting or going too far into a deficit that could hurt you. Even if it's just a few calories, it adds up, especially if you mess up multiple times a day. Alright, so thirdly, we got to make sure that if we're eating out, say at a restaurant, or something doesn't have a nutrition label, we can still determine how many calories are in this food. It's pretty simple. You can just look it up, and if it's at a restaurant, find a maybe nutrition label on their menu online, and if it's not, well then you can go to a competitor. So Colton Steakhouse in Radcliffe does not have a nutrition facts. So I go to Texas Roadhouse, a larger chain, and they do. And I compare items such as their sirloin. It's going to be comparable on calories. So thirdly, we're going to go over the method in which we try to lose weight. Now personally, I use intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting is the method of waiting about 16 hours. As long as it's over 12, then you count as fasted in your body. So over 16 hours, I fast, and then I use the extra 8 to eat. I do this because it helps my stomach feel fuller by eating the same amount if I were to spread the meals out throughout the day. And that seems awkward for a lot of people because they don't actually fast most of the time, but tips that I use are like drinking black coffee, sparkling water, unsweet tea, because it's 0-calorie drinks, and since the liquids fill up your stomach, then you end up being full throughout the day. And the time actually seems to go by a lot faster, because if you think about it, you sleep for 8 hours and then you only have to fast 4 to 8 hours afterwards to get to the fasted state. But you don't have to do this. Fasting is just a case of something I like to do because it makes hitting that caloric deficit easier when you don't have to. If you can do that by eating 6 meals a day, go ahead. You might find that more enjoyable than fasting. Fasting is just a case of filling your stomach up more to get the most out of each meal. But that basically concludes how the tips I use to lose weight. So we went over. So we went over finding how much we actually need to lose weight, how we calculate that on a day-to-day basis, and then methods such as fasting or eating other meals a day to make sure that we hit this in the most enjoyable way possible, because if we don't enjoy it, then we won't do it in the first place. All right, thank you.